It's time to continue working on this old lab lamp I've been calling. And I want to change something up here. So I'm going to do that here. And I hope this isn't going to throw you off. I don't have a reference for this. So we're just going to do it. I'm going to shift that cursor selected and I'm going to delete those faces there. And so this is what we have here. Let's take this edge and just extrude it in the Y. Sorry, the Z a little bit. And not that. Alright, so we have that going on, don't we? Let me have another look at this edge here. Maybe don't need that. Let's leave that off for now. Sharp enough. Okay, so my 3D cursor is there and I want to do a different piece here. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to bring in a UV sphere. And we're going to make this 20 and 10. We'll try that. I'll scale that down a bit. And what I'm going to do is from front view, I'm going to box select and delete that. And then from side view, I'm going to box select the front. So I leave, let's get rid of that one there. One more. Yeah, that one. So I'm left with that. I'm going to select there. And I'm going to extrude down like this. Let's scale it smaller. Take a little bit of work on this. Alright, let's look at this. Let's focus just on that, /key 1. Okay, I'm going to go into edit mode and I'm going to select that outer edge there. And I'm going to press E and S and I'm going to pull it out a little bit like that. Then I'm going to take these two edges, vertices actually, switch to vertex and bring it up, hold control and snap them to there. So I have that. Alright. Now I'm going to come over here and I want to select all these vertices here. Those ones there. I'm going to press E to extrude and I'm going to pull them up. And I'm going to scale Z 0. So we have that. I'm going to select this edge and this edge. I'm going to press E and SX. Pull them out so that I can put 3 edge loops there and they're roughly equal. Get out of the way there. 3 there. Like that. I'm going to take this upper edge and I'm going to, let's try just pulling it and see how well it works like that. Okay. Now I'm going to come in here, Shift Alt and click this edge all the way around. I'm going to try to bevel this. Control B and pull 1, 2. Let's make it a little bit nicer. We can shade smooth if we want right now. Okay, now with that done, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to add array of the X. And I think I'm going to go for, let's see, do I want 8 of these? We could try 8. I'll click on merge as well. And simple to form in the Z, bend 360. So you're looking at this going, well, you could use this for a gun, couldn't you? Yeah. Let's try that. I'm going to apply the array and simple to form. Go in, select it all, M, merge by distance, and I will have gotten rid of a few. And I have that. It looks relatively smooth still. Okay, now the 3D cursor is still there. This is obviously shifted off. So I'm going to go set origin to the 3D cursor and set geometry to origin. It'll pop back in. Scale this down and pull this up a little bit like that. Okay. One more thing I want to do. Well, I'll do that next. Okay. I'm going to come in here and Shift Alt and click there and press F to make a face, and it's going to be a little bit weird. But we're also going to try to bevel a little bit if we can. Control B and pull. I just got to be careful about any overlap. So we get a small bevel there. That's great. My 3D cursor is still in the middle, so I'm going to bring in a cylinder. I'm not really worried about vertices, so I'm going to go ahead and use quite a lot. And I'm going to make a hole in here. Okay, push that in there. Select this. Come to Boolean and select the cylinder and apply. And I'm actually just going to hide the cylinder. We may use that later. I'm going to come over here, select this edge all the way around, and I'm going to extrude it up a little bit. And at this point, I'm going to try just a weighted normal with auto smooth. And I think we are okay. I think the cavity shader is going to accentuate those lines. But I'm going to leave it on, just in general. All right, so these lines shouldn't be visible. So I have that. Now, Alt H, and take this, scale that in Z. And let's try just for a lens of some sort. I know I'm using a lot of vertices on this, so, you know, I apologize for that for anyone who cares about that. I really wanted to have this inside a little bit. I'm going to go Control 1 and shade smooth. And then I think here I'm going to have to inset. Alright. What I'll do though is I'll bring in another circle. But we'll make it something like 18, and I will have a subdivision on there. I'll bring it down. Scale it in a bit. Right, let's look from the bottom. Scale it in like that. And then E and S. And I'm going to make a cover that blocks that edge. Oh, let's get rid of that. There it is. I'm going to extrude it up and delete those faces. And then grab these edges, just those ones, and Control B. We'll pull, but I'll just have one edge in there, and I'll do a Control 1 or 2. I don't know how consistent I want to be. We'll pull that up to sort of block that area, and then I'll take this, and I'm just going to scale it out. And then I'll decide how, you know, if I want it sticking through, and if I can get rid of some more faces, you know, that kind of thing. You know what? I'm going to bring this up to 2 for now. All right. And the more I think about it, there is one more thing I wanted to do in that may affect things. I'm going to do another simple deform. I'm going to try this with taper. And I want it to have like just the smallest amount of taper, like something like that. Now there is something else I need to do. I need to scale this in the Z because I actually don't want it that long. I want it about 3/4 of the size of that. Okay, so now I'm going to take this piece, this one here. I'm there. I'm going to hide that. A little bit of manipulation. Look from the bottom. I'm going to scale it in. Pull it up. Like around there, and I guess Alt H, and then I've got this piece now, and we'll bring it back. Maybe something like that. And then I was thinking, still thinking, I can take one of these, just Shift-D, pull it off, scale it down. P to break it out and get rid of the subdivision. Not on that, on that. F to make face, scale it down more. I don't know, I probably should be doing some of this in texturing, but just bring that up, get rid of that face. Actually, take it back. Because I want to spin this, I can't seem to spin unless I have that back face on there. So let's just do that. Control B. One is fine. Shade smooth. Make sure my polys are facing the right way. I'll do that for the other ones in a bit. Just push that in there. All right, let's look from the bottom, go in, make sure I'm saving, and spin this thing like this. And I think, first of all, I'm going to go for 360 degrees. I'm just going to pull this back. 9, I think 8 is the right amount. Select them all. Alt N, recalculate outside if need be. Yeah, I just, I don't know if you'll ever see it, but. And then I'm going to focus on those. And I'm going to select this face, and I'm going to come up here to select similar, I think coplanar will do it. Maybe I'll scale these in the Z a bit. Pull them out a little bit, maybe. I don't know if I did that. It's a little bit more visible. I want to make sure everything is in. And that gives me that. All right, maybe I will go ahead and apply that. All right, so that's more what I was going for. Just was thinking scale shift Z. You want a little bit more of an overhang. Okay, and that brings us to this part down here. I want to select here. In fact, I might be able to use one of these circles. Let's try that. Shift D and bring it out, scale it up. P to break it out. Did I do that? There it is. Gonna use 2, but turn that off for now. And let's just get this approximate size. I want a pretty big dial. That'll be like a focus knob of some sort. Okay, so let's do this. All right, I'm just gonna build this thing, so I'm gonna focus on that. I'm gonna pull it out like this. E and S and come in. E, I'm gonna come down a little bit. E and S, I'm gonna come in. E, just making some kind of design. E and S. E, come in. In fact, this one I think I will, no, we'll do that next one. When we come in like this, and pull it back a little bit. Down to about there. E, come out. In and back. We'll angle that. E and S, F. We'll do something like that. And we'll come out here, make it a bit thicker. E and S, come in. E, come in like this. Let's say E and S. And we'll come in like that. I think we'll come in all the way. It'll be very simple on the back. And we're going to come out, and we're going to see how that attaches in a bit. Let's go ahead and put on subdivision and fix this up. In fact, before I do that, let's just go ahead and bevel it. I'm going to grab these and Control B and just put one segment in there. I'll turn that on again to see how we're doing. We'll drag an edge loop up here, and we'll drag one down here. And in here, and say maybe down, oh, not there, there. I'm going to put, I think, a bolt in here. Let's see. I'm going to want it to come out. All right, so far so good. I'll drag an edge loop up here, and here, here, and here. Let's see how it integrates so far. Yeah, okay. That's not bad. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this, pull it back, E and S come in a little bit. I'm going to want that to go in and have some thread on it. So I'm going to scale it down some more. I can do it in wireframe and see my vertices. I can change the size of this. Let's pull that in. And that may be actually all right. Just edge loops. Okay, on here, let's grab that edge and pull it back a little bit. Let's roll my mouse up 3 times. I didn't want to do that. 3 times. Control B and pull, roll back to 0. I want 2 of them showing if possible. I'm going to push. I think I'm going to take them and pull them out. Just like that. Like that. You start to see that thread. That's okay. Alright, but we're not done here, so let's just focus on that. Alright, so I have an edge there. I'm going to pull another edge here. Let's take this and let's E and Alt S and pull it in like that. Okay, that's a little bit sharp on this side here, so let's grab this edge here and pull it in. Okay, let's actually scale that in the X. E and Alt S and now pull it in like that. Okay, and I can select those 2 edges and pull them a little bit more if I wanted a bit more even. I may have just let go. Alright, I can drag an edge loop over here and over here, over here, and over here. Yeah, that kind of thing. And I'm not too worried about underneath there because I'm going to Shift S cursor selected. I'm going to bring something else in there. I'm going to bring in another, not a cube. Why would I want that? I'm going to bring in another circle and I'm going to make it 64 vertices. And we're going to rotate Y 90 and scale it down. I'll work on the scale later. Pull it over. Let's look from the front. All right. Extrude it out like that. Okay, I can work on the scale later. I'm going to switch to face selection and I'm going to press I, inset twice. I'm going to do that. And then E and Alt S, and I'm going to pull. Whatever way makes them come out a little bit. Like that. And then I'm going to add a bevel of 2 probably. Shade smooth. And then I'm going to scale it in like this. Like about that. And let's try scale it in the X. I was thinking about having them go under, but I'm not sure I want to. I might want it more like that. All right, let's try what I want to do. Scale Shift X. See what it's like if they're immersed in there. Okay. Scale Shift X. Let's see what it's like if they stick out like that, which might be more what I want. I'm going to try adding a weighted normal and normal auto smooth. And I think I'm going to like that, you know, because I want it a little bit steampunkish. So let's leave that for the moment and then come over here. select there, Shift S, cursor to selected. I will bring in a cube now, believe it or not, scale it down, Control 2. I'm going to look from the front and put an edge loop down there. I'm going to select this back face, Control plus X faces, so I have just this, and move this out. I'm going to scale this in the X to flatten. I'm going to make sort of a bolt here. Okay, I'm going to apply that subdivision there and look from the side, come in, and I'm going to select these edges, that to that. Actually, I'll do one at a time. And I'm going to scale Y 0 to straighten that, and this one. Hold down Control to get the at the bottom. Scale Y 0. Now I'm going to hold Shift and then Control. Scale in the Y, and I'm going to pull them in narrower like that. And then I'm going to select these two vertices. Actually, no, I'll flatten it. Scale Z 0, and these three. Scale Z 0. Lots of ways to make bolts. This is just one way, and I'm going to do it this way. All right. I'm going to I to inset a little bit. Press I again because we did the other type of inset before, and it remembers. And then I'm going to extrude that in. I'm going to do one more subdivision of 1, shade smooth, and I'm going to pull that in to the middle. I'm going to scale in the X a bit, look from the side, scale it out so it fits right in there. And I want it recessed in a bit. All right, I'm going to look from the side, and we're going to rotate it a bit. And that is a big bolt. That's okay. How's that? Before we go any further, and we are almost done, you'll notice I have some red stuff here. We don't like red. So we need to just flip some of these. Oh yeah, and I was thinking for the final thing I was thinking of here, we'll select these faces, and I was thinking we would inset, maybe use loop tools to make a circle, just scale it a bit, I to inset a little bit, and then just gesture in, just to do a final little thing. They don't have to be exactly the same. You could copy them, but let's see. Now, whereabouts is that little forehead type thing? Okay, I to inset, pull it in a bit. Loop tool circle, scale it in. I to inset, and just gesture in. Yeah, just a final detail like that. Okay. All right. So, is that it? And this thing here, need to do anything else? Well, I hope that's okay. Is it thick enough? Well, I'm going to leave it. Okay, now I'm going to show you the final position for this. This is going to go into top. This is going to go into top. Let me just see if I hide that. I just want the base left there. Okay. So here we go. This is it now. Select something central and symmetrical. Shift S, cursor to selected like that. Bring the 3D cursor there. Select the top like this. And we will look from the side. And then I'm going to press R to rotate. All right, and that will help with the balancing of this thing as well, so it doesn't tip over. All right, and then I'm just going to pull it and position it because it doesn't rotate perfectly, and it's got to be roughly down in there, and I think that's probably okay. All right. And that is the final model. You can check it with various shiny matte caps and see how it looks. I don't know if that one is Annoying, yeah. All right, enough of those ones. I often will use that one. That's it, and it just needs to be textured now. And some of that would be a nightmare to do in Substance Painter, and some of these details should have been done in Substance Painter. Anyways, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do it in Painter or in Blender, but that's the model. So we'll come back, we'll do some texturing of some sort. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you found that interesting. And if you do try one of these, I'd love to see it. Feel free to email me sometime at kimmelelliott@gmail.com or post it on the ZeroBio Discord so we can have a look at that. Cool, that was a lot of fun. All right, we'll finish it up next time. Take care.